You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. Now, before we go, you know that this month, the global community decided to celebrate and mark the International Women's Day. We're celebrating women. We're highlighting the successes that they've been able to chalk despite all the challenges they face in their day-to-day life and the stereotypes and the blocks that are put in their way. And this morning, we're celebrating and having a conversation with Nora Wahby. Nora Wahby is the head of Ericsson in West Africa and Morocco. Now, as part of the International Women's Day, like I said, we're deciding to talk to her about women's role in the telecom industry, diversity in workplaces, her career as a leader, what she's been able to achieve, some of her challenges, even at that level. So, Nora, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nora, have you been to Ghana?
Sorry, come again. Your voice is
I was asking if you've ever been to Ghana.
Oh, no, unfortunately, I haven't been to Ghana. It was on my travel list until COVID has struck us, and I was unable to come. But I do have team members based out of Ghana that I'm in contact with on continuous basis.
Right. Anyway, happy International Women's Month. I think
Thank
it's
you.
in order that we say that to you. Nora, so talk to us about, your work as a leader at such a very high place. What are some of the things that it entails?
Right. So first, thank you for having me, and happy International Women's Day to all the lovely female workers and non-workers, mothers across Africa. I have taken aboard the challenge of heading Ericsson in West Africa and Morocco approximately 2 years ago, and the journey has been fantastically rewarding. I can tell you that I have been fascinated. I am originally from Egypt, so I'm an African nation. I have lived before in South Africa before I took over this part of the world responsibility, and I have been fascinated by what I found here. I have visited most of the West African countries, and one of the highlights of my visits, my stays, my interactions, whether with my teams or with our customers, is how women are represented, how many strong women we have in this part of the world, how women are resourceful. They're strong. They manage in a competitive environment, and they bring all the balance and equality to the workplace. So that is one of the biggest highlights of my journey. Aside from that, the characteristic of my job is, of course, involving a lot of travel. I am a mother. I have one daughter who's a teenager. The balance has been somehow. I try to keep the balance, but of course it was difficult at some times. The fact that you need to be physically present in different locations while you have your responsibility back home. And here, I mean, the tip was, of course, to try to balance it myself. But thanks to a very understanding family and support system, of course, things went fine.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you a little later about how telecommunications has changed in the last 5 years. But since you talked about family, let's talk about that and the role of women as well. How are you able to, juggle all of this? Because you talk about the challenges. So first of all, tell us the challenges that, as a woman in an industry that appears to be male-dominated, how you're making your way through that and how you're able to fuse and mix everything to, have an almost perfect life.
I mean, obviously, there is no magical tip here. But I can tell you from my personal experience, it is true that telecom is a male-dominated industry. But not for a second, since I was a student, I felt that I am unable, or I felt that I compete on a basis that is lower or behind. In my head, I did not stop too much at the fact I am a woman in an environment dominated by men. I think that was the trick here, that I didn't, it was not built in my mentality that this is something that is putting me at a disadvantage at any point of time.
Right.
Now, I have faced situations where I felt uncomfortable naturally because too many male colleagues. I have been in situations where people initially doubted my capability to take along a job and thought that as a female maybe she would settle on a less impactful job or a less demanding job or time consuming, or you're always faced with those moments when people say, okay, now she's getting married, she's going to quit, now she has kids, she's going to quit. It's just that in my head I did not stop at this, and that was, I think, key. On the other hand, I was extremely fortunate because Ericsson as a company has been always advocating for gender equality, always. And we have put on ourselves in Ericsson a target to reach 30% females in leadership position, but also among the workforce by 2020. And we have even beaten this target, and we're at 32% currently. So I think also having support within the workplace, having supporting managers, supporting colleagues who believe in your ability and who show you the way, I think has always been a good support system to have.
Right. So, Nora, how about you say that you are fortunate? You work with a company, Ericsson, that obviously supports women. But how about the other women who are not as fortunate as you? They have these challenges and even more. On a day or in a month like this where we are celebrating women and highlighting some of the successes, how would you advise women to go through some of these things, especially when they're in an environment where they don't get the kind of support that you get?
Definitely the challenge exists, and it would continue to exist because there are mentalities who do not get it yet. But my advice to women first is to back themselves up with the right education. I had a manager who once told me that if at a point of time a man and a woman come to a certain level in jobs or in career, I am definite that the woman has worked twice as much as the man. Because when a woman believes she needs to do something and she wants to achieve something, she puts all the efforts and back herself up with a lot of education, a lot of reading, a lot of quality argumentation to get where she wants to be. So I think the best way for women to prove themselves is, of course, to be backed up with the right education, to believe in themselves, to believe they can do, and to speak up, to put their foot down and speak up when they feel they can. I think by nature we're more shy. We prefer to be seen and recognized rather than us speaking up for ourselves. But my advice to my female colleagues across is to really believe in themselves and speak up for what they want to be and what they want to become, and support each other. So another very important point in a male-dominated environment, I would ask all females who manage to achieve themselves to support other girls and to support our other talents, to make sure they grow and they take their space in this world.
Okay. Now, I mean, we cannot highlight the challenges, the negatives, and not talk about the successes that you've been able to chalk. So as head of Ericsson in West Africa and in Morocco, tell us some of the successes that you've been able to chalk despite the challenges since, you took up this position.
I think there has been different challenges before COVID and after COVID. Let me focus at after COVID particularly. It's a widely spread region composed of 20 plus countries with the teams across. And one of the biggest challenges we had during COVID is the disconnect, because we weren't able to come together, meet, travel, And of course, in the beginning of COVID, we thought it's a couple of weeks and then we will be back to normal. But the situation has prolonged, and it was very important that we keep the teams motivated, working on what's important, but also able to prioritize, able to put the right work-life balance in their structure, because I mean, we're all connected 24/7. We are working from home 24/7 all the week. It becomes at a point of time very complicated to balance it. I think one of the biggest challenges I'm very proud we as a unit have been able to achieve is the fact that we connected through humanness and through empathy and through balance and personal talks. We connected as a team. We're a very, very large team, 1,000 plus employees, but we kept this connection, this family spirit, this balancing spirit across the different countries, despite the fact that we're physically apart. And I think this has been an important practice that has benefited the morale, the performance of the team, but it's also thanks to adopting lots of the female side of the leader. It's the humanness, the personalization, the connection, your ability to show your vulnerability in front of your colleagues, make them also comfortable if they are faced with the natural life challenges you face as a human being. I will not say as a woman. So it's okay to say, I need to take care of my kids. It's okay to say, I need to prepare food for my family while we are in a business context. And I think these are the boundaries that has dissolved and brought us stronger as a team. And I'm very, very proud of this.
Right. Now, finally, before I let you go, let's go back and talk about your field, telecommunications. How would you say that has changed in the last 5 years?
I mean, the telecommunications, the connectivity in general, and the mobile communication has changed the environment, and particularly in Africa, with broadband coming in strongly, allowing connectivity to individuals, to businesses. We have seen a lot of economical impact and a lot of growth associated to doing business through mobile connectivity. I would give one small example. We have all seen mobile money, and the mobile money has been spreading and the adoption rate across the African continent. I mean, mobile money emerged in Africa, so it's an innovation that belongs to Africa, and it started to spread and emerge across the different countries in Africa with the highest adoption rate we've seen. Mobile money has definitely improved financial inclusion. It created the platform for all the unbanked to be able to transfer money across, which created business opportunities and helped people to pay and get paid for jobs on the lower category outside the formal banking system. And I think this is a significant change to how we do business in the continent across. Now, with 4G, which is the higher adoption of 4G, which is the mobile high-speed connectivity, we've seen many changes in the way we do businesses and also consumer lifestyle. I give an example of TV consumption, for example, and the fact that most of the watching has moved into tablets or into TV, phone handsets, etc. This is a wave that we have seen. It starts it grows as the 4G penetration grows. I think with the new wave of technology, which is the 5G, and 5G is more the industry that is connecting businesses, we will see more transformation in the businesses and in the industries across the continent. And this transformation will enable, from one side, some operational efficiencies, and from the other side, most importantly, innovation and new use cases that will make make the industry more successful, increase the reach, increase the potential usability of the industry, but also give them operational savings on the other hand. So I see with the development and the increase in speed and lower latency of 5G, there will be even further transformation.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Nora, and happy International Women's Month.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to physically visiting Ghana and meeting with you all on the ground.
Absolutely. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Nora Wahby is the head of Ericsson in West Africa and Morocco. We're still in the month of March. So here's us here at GhOne Television wishing all the women a happy International Women's Month. I am Sewami. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.